Tasha McBain, Beth Talbot and Annie Townsend.
Well, Buckinghamshire have won the toss and they've elected to have a field. Players are just making their positions out there in the field. And to open the batting for Sussex, it's Molly Adams and Izzy Collis. Izzy Collis to face the first ball. This one played into the leg side by Collis. She looks to set off, and that one is a dot ball in the end. As Cara Duggan opens the bowling for Buckinghamshire. We've got a slip in place. Duggan from the Cromwell Road end. Into Collis now, full delivery, which is defended. There is no run. But nice to see that the temporary stands have finally been put up around the ground here at Hove. That only tells you one thing, and that is the fact that the Vitality T20 blast is not far off. As here comes Duggan now to Collis, full of delivery. This is pushed to mid-off. They'll take on the run, and they make that one comfortably. Single taken. Sussex Sharks open their account, 1 for no loss.
Yeah, up and running now, aren't they? And that's what you want. You just get the first one on the board, get the nerves out of the way, and get started in this competition as the sun just starts to peek out in the distance at the Cromwell Road end and the sea end at this end. I really like this. I like original naming of ground ends. Like I was saying to you earlier, I get bored when something's just called the city end because you have them everywhere.
Here's Duggan in to Molly Adams. This is a full delivery and gets inside edge, runs down towards fine leg, and Adams opens her account as well. Scored 100 at the weekend as well at New Road against Worcestershire. So she's in form. Two for no loss, Sussex Sharks. And here's Duggan from the Cromwell Road end, running towards us in the media centre as Collis is forward, and this one's stopped to extra cover, no run.
Yeah, not too bad form, is it? Coming off the back of 100, and it'll give her some kind of confidence coming into this tournament as well. Young Molly Adams, a name we all know very well in the cricketing world.
This one just jabs back a bit as Collis is forward and goes into the offside, no run. A little bit of early movement here from Cara Duggan. And that should conclude the end of the first over. Sussex just 2 from it.
It's a really interesting concept as well, isn't it? Because they're not really sure what to expect. Obviously, these sides haven't come up against each other in this tournament before, because this cup has never existed before. So it will be a sort of case of trying to get something on the board that they feel defendable. And obviously, put into bat here, Sussex.
You're lucky with the weather. There was a bit of rain forecasted today, but we seem to have missed it, which is good. The opening round of the County Cup. Plenty of matches being played up and down the country today, and we will tell you the scores of some of those fixtures throughout the course of this game. But it's exciting. All tiers, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, everyone participating in the County Cup, because the finals could be anyone. You could have a tier 3 team against a tier 1 team. It's exciting, isn't it?
I love it. It's like a football FA Cup. We as English people, we love an underdog story. So I like the idea of a giant slayer.
Who doesn't like an underdog story?
Exactly. So it'll be Tasha McBain from the sea end.
Some spin as well. You've got short boundaries down the ground, especially if you're bowling from the sea end. Gotta make sure you're protected out in the deep, and we do have a wide long on.
She's bowled out. Well, very first delivery from Tasha McBain. Molly Adams plays around it and sees the end of her bails. They've gone absolutely flying, and that is the first wicket down for Sussex. And what a dream start this is for Bucks. They bring on the spin makes a difference with the very first delivery.
Absolutely, a brilliant start here for Buckinghamshire. And to dismiss the in-form batter, a perfect way to start, and obviously gives such a boost of confidence to the side as well. To get that early breakthrough, it's what you dream of in the power play.
Yeah, especially an in-form batter coming off the back of 100, Adams, but today she has to go for one from the two she's faced. And Sussex Sharks, well, this is not the start they would have hoped for on their home ground in this cup.
You know that saying, if you can maximise the power play, the team that can maximise the power play the most have more chances of winning the game. That's exactly what Sussex would be looking to do, try and get as many runs on the board as well without losing too many wickets. Here comes Rachel King, the new batter out there in the middle.
Bit of extra flight again from McBain, worked around the corner by King, so she opens her account with a single down to fine leg. She does give it a lot of flight, doesn't she, McBain?
She really does, especially when you've actually got short boundaries down towards mid-on and mid-off. Then it's quite brave to be tossing it up, tempting the batter.
Yeah, solid in defence there from Collis.
And someone like Izzy Collis, she's been playing for Sussex for many years, and she's quite an aggressive batter. Once she gets going, can be pretty destructive.
She's been kept quiet here. Just the one from 7 she's faced so far.
If you can keep Collis quiet, it's a good job.
Full straight, finger goes straight up, second wicket down in the over. McBain is having an absolute day of it in this over. She starts with a wicket, gone for just one run, and now her second wicket in the over. Collis, she was struggling to get going and then trapped in front. Again, a lot of extra flight. And what a start this has been for Bucks, Nikki.
Oh, it's a brilliant start for Bucks. The flight, she's tempting her, and she's been done on that. And a beautiful delivery, 2 wickets off the over. And Sussex are 3 for 2. It's a dreamy start. Kiara Green, Sussex skipper, comes out into the middle now.
So one delivery still to come in this over from McBain. Just the one run from it and 2 wickets. And Green looks to squirt that through the covers. Can't get it through the infield, so closes with a dot. What an over. Wicket 1, dot, dot, wicket, dot. I mean, you'll take that as your opening over, wouldn't you?
You would indeed.
Brings the second to a close, end of 2 overs. Sussex Sharks, having been put into bat, 3 for 2.
Yeah, it's an ideal first over, and I'm sure that's going to help set the tone for Bucks as well. If you get those early wickets, it really helps build the momentum for the fielding side. Extra bounce in their step as they make their way around. Duggan to continue from the Cromwell Road end. We have a slip in place, backward point, cover, extra cover, mid-off. Long on, mid-wicket, square leg, and a fine leg as Duggan makes her way downhill from the Cromwell Road end. And this one's defended by King. It's about finding that balance as well. You've lost 2 early wickets. You've got power play where you still need to make use of, but again, not be too risky.
Yeah, it's really tricky, isn't it? You don't want to just get bogged down.
Duggan in, this is a full toss, and this one is put away, as it should be. That's going to run away towards the deep square leg boundary, and that's the first boundary here for the Sussex Sharks.
Yeah, exactly what they needed. It was just a bit of a gimme, the full toss. It was there to be hit. Nicely hit away through square leg. And sort of breaks the shackles a little bit. King moves on to 5 from the 3 that she's faced. Yeah, they'll be happy to have a few more of those. As this one just jacks a little back
into Rachel King as she defends. Bit of a breeze going around the ground as well, and it's quite astonishing to think that maybe just 4 days ago we had 30-degree weather.
Yeah, it was like height of summer in Europe.
Crazy things. As Duggan's in again, another full toss. It's misfielded at square leg, allows him to come through for the single. Sussex move on to 8 for 2.
I don't think they'll mind that too much, the full toss that was there to be hit again, but just picks out the fielder.
Yeah, went straight to the fielder at square leg. Either side, that might have raced away to the boundary once again. But yeah, there is a strong breeze out here at the ground in Hove. So Rachel King has a quick word with her skipper, Ciara Green. Ciara Green also been playing for Sussex for many years, experienced player. As this one goes down the leg side, as an appeal of some sorts. Not interested is the umpire, Rema Chandara. And of course got Julia Jarvis as well, both our umpires here today.
Not quite sure what she was appealing for there, actually.
What was I? There's Duggan in now and just gets a little bit of movement and that comes back into green. She plays that into the offside and that is the end of the third over. Sussex are 8 for 2.
Here's a few braving. Well, actually, I think it's the cold today.
It is the cold, I think it's safe to say. It is cold outside, and I'm very glad we are actually inside in a commentary box because I've been around the country to plenty of grounds where we've had to do commentary sat outside. You and I, actually, we've experienced some harsh weather in the commentary box where we've been put up in a tent in Jersey covering ICC Women's T20
I think we did ones when it didn't
qualifiers.
even have a tent. It was a table in the middle of the wind in Jersey when it happened to be the windiest time of the year ever. So McBain to continue. And she's bowled her. Well, McBain, what an astonishing day she is having. That is her third wicket of the day. She took a wicket with the first ball of her first over and has done exactly the same with her second over. And Sussex Sharks are in a bit of a pickle here.
A pickle, indeed, as McBain is on fire. Bowling from the sea end. She's just tossing the ball up and it seems to be just catching the batters out with that extra flight. Rachel King just playing a little bit early and she'll have to go after scoring 6. But Buckinghamshire, they are in a very, very good position. McBain having a word with one of her teammates. I believe it's Cara Duggan. Yeah, it is at mid-off. As in comes Phoebe Wilkinson. Out into the middle. They'll really stabilise the ship here, won't they, Georgie?
Well, they've got to do something because they're just being completely bamboozled by the work of McBain at the moment. Her figure's 3 wickets for just the 1 run so far.
I'll have that, thank you very much.
Yeah, stop the count. There she comes. Just waits on this one, does Wilkinson. There's again no run.
It's nice to see some left-arm spin as well in the women's game. It's not something we come across so often. So when it does come into play, get caught out.
This is a really mighty impressive start from the away side, Bucks. You've got Sussex Sharks 8 for 3. This is the point also when you're a batter, you're sort of scrambling to find your kit because suddenly wickets are tumbling and you're thinking, I was coming in at 6, I thought I was okay.
A bit of mayhem going on in the dressing room, maybe.
Where's my pad? Again, solid in defence is Wilkinson.
Brilliant figures for McBain so far. He'll take those any day of the week.
They're just struggling to do anything with what she's bowling up at the moment.
And she's varying her flight as well. We've got some flatter deliveries, a few that have been tossed up.
There it is again, the extra flight. And a little misfield means that it won't be a wicket maiden for McBain. And they think about coming back for a second. Slight hesitation. And in the end, it's easy enough. And they throw a little wayward too. So 2 off the final delivery of the over. And at the end of 4, Sussex Sharks 10 for 3.
Well, this is a brilliant start if you're a Buckinghamshire fan and you're tuning in. Sussex Sharks 3 wickets down, and all courtesy of some left arm spin from McBain. The dugout looks like a chilly place to be right now. All the hoodies, all the layers, even thermals.
It's shorts though, pair of shorts.
That's just gutsy.
Stubbornness. Someone will have commented, I can't believe you're wearing shorts, and at that point you just have to stick with it.
Or maybe that's just called manifestation, hoping the sun is going to come out at some point. Ciara Green on strike as she takes her guard, getting ready to face up to Duggan. Yet to be in the wickets, Cara Duggan. Then she runs. This one just jabs back into Green. Looks like takes her by surprise. No run. And slope is helping her as well. Coming downhill from the Cromwell Road end. Down the leg side has been signalled a wide, and it misses the keeper. They'll come through for an extra run as well. As Ray Machindaria signals to the scorers in the score box. 12 for 3. Phoebe Wilkinson, she's on 2. Ciara Green yet to open her account.
And just taking her time here, Wilkinson. Surveying the field before she takes guard. That's
blocked out by Wilkinson. Good old forward defence. And actually just the way Duggan bowls and the ball coming back at you, it's not predictable at all how much one decides to move back in, or some of them just hold their line a bit more. This one a bit of width, and this is driven. Beautiful looking drive, but it goes straight to cover. And no run. So that would be a bit frustrating because that's come off the middle of the bat. It's looked beautiful, but it's gone straight to the fielder. The one that you want to get away. The sun is making a cheeky appearance here. There's Duggan. Fuller, and this one does find the gap off the front foot. Wilkinson drives. Does the ball have the legs to go all the way? No, it doesn't. They'll come back for a couple of runs, look for the third, but a good throw in from the deep. I don't think she could have picked a bigger part of the ground to try and hit for 4. It's just on that almost corner of the rope. I know, right? It's the longest corner. Yeah, she's really picked that one out. 14 for 3, Sussex Sharks. Into the 5th over now. Here's Duggan. This was a full toss. Has she got any bat on that? Let's run away down towards the boundary. Fine leg does not make it round in time. And signal no ball as well. Trying to see if she got any bat on that one. I think she must have got a little tickle. Score moves on to 19 for 3. Yep, a little tickle. That's going to be a free hit, as signalled by Ray Machindaria. You're going to see the Bucks girls just hanging back on the ring now. It's Wilkinson awaits. She goes for a big swing, misses that one, no connection. How often do we see that on a free hit? Your eyes light up, you know you've got that sort of
the free chance, and so often you almost try too hard as a batter to try and take on the free hit, and then there's a sort of single with a miss hit, it squirts out to cover or something, or you just miss it completely because your eyes just light up so early.
It's hyped up, isn't it? End of the over, 5 overs gone. Sussex Sharks 19 for 3. Oh no, I've completely gone ahead of myself. There was a lot of movement going around. Got a ball left.
I think there was a little confusion out in the middle, but a wide and a no ball in that over.
We have another ball left to go. Here's Duggan in now, and this is defended by Wilkinson, and that will conclude the 5th over. Sussex Sharks 19 for 3. We've got it right now.
Yeah, so 5 overs gone, 19 for 3, just on a bit of a recovery here. The Sussex Sharks, after losing those 3 early wickets, all thanks to the bowling of McBain. It'll be interesting to see if she gets given another one here, and she's taking her hat off. Looks like she will.
Surely you would bowl her out.
Unsurprising, you would. You just keep her on. Taking off that sleeveless vest. Well, she's bowled 2 overs so far, taking a wicket with the first ball of both of those overs.
Last over before we complete the power play.
Well, it won't be 3 first balls for McBain, but just solid in defence there from Green.
Those figures right now, 3 for 3.
Again, solid in defence.
Good keeping one end tight.
Just slightly less flight on these deliveries. We saw a few in the previous overs that really were almost moon balls coming in from Natasha McBain. This time just slightly flatter. And Green yet to get off the mark. She's faced 7 so far. Again, slightly flatter, just worked around the corner, and that will be the first runs for Green. The wayward throw comes in, well backed up.
Yeah, it's important for these two. They obviously know McBain is the one with the wickets. Just try and play her out, rotate strike, nothing too high risk.
That's nicely played. Lovely looking shot through the covers, and I think that's going to have enough on it. There's 2 fielders giving chase, but ball wins the race. And that's the first boundary to come off McBain's bowling today.
Yeah, tosses it up, and a nice leaning drive by Phoebe Wilkinson through the offside. The ball runs away. A very much needed boundary for Sussex in the power play.
Again, solid in that defence. Wilkinson doing the heavy lifting at the moment. It's scored half of Sussex's runs. As the 6th over comes to a close, end of the power play, Sussex Sharks 24 for 3.
Has some cloud cover over the ground as well. Some heavy looking clouds coming in from the right hand side. Hopefully they'll just skirt around and they don't look too threatening. It's still bright out there. I think as soon as we lose some sunshine, it could be a cause of concern. But at the moment, players have got sunglasses on, so it doesn't look like we should be worrying. I believe there will be a change in bowling as well from the Cromwell Road end.
Yeah, Tegan Stockdale, I believe it is.
Yeah, Tegan Stockdale, number 25, printed on her back. She's going to be replacing Cara Duggan. We're out of the power play now as well. And looking at the field, as Bucks just finalise who they want where. We're going to have a short third, point, deep cover, extra cover mid-off, long on, wide-ish mid-wicket, a square leg and a fine leg. So your two fielders in the deep are cover and long on, as in comes Stockdale now, and this one's left alone by Green. It's been signalled a wide. It's coming downhill, getting that adjustment as this one's hit up and over the inner ring. It should be two here for Sussex, an easy two, well run. And the score moves on to 27 for 3.
Yeah, good placement in the end. Once it's over that infield, there's no one down there. Ran the first one pretty hard, and there was a little hesitation before the second, but fielder having to make up ground to come around and cut it off.
And this one's down the leg side, wide. And Kiara Green decides she doesn't want to have anything to do with that one, just watches it go by. Tilly Fellows with the gloves for Bucks. As this one outside the off stump gets a little bit of bat on him, it's gone straight to third, no run. 28 for 3. Sussex having lost 3 early wickets in the power play. Molly Adams, Izzy Collis and Rachel King. As another wide is bowled by Stockdale.
Yeah, it's tricky this. She's just really struggling to find her radar, and then she's overcompensating. So we've had a wide down the leg side, and then this time a wide on the offside.
Hopefully she can bring it back. This is better and should just be the one down to deep cover. Score moves on to 30 for 3.
Yeah, good little recovery here. Found themselves 8 for 3 after the sort of shock of the McBain bowling early on. But this partnership just coming along, guided by Wilkinson, 12 from 13, and Green keeping her company with her 4 from 11.
Yeah, beautiful figures there from McBain. There's a better delivery from Stockdale as well. Left alone by Wilkinson, but she seems to be finding her line. She doesn't want to go too straight. Again, beautifully bowled and played by Wilkinson down to deep cover. Just for the one. 31 for 3.
Nice looking stroke that from Wilkinson. Just waited on it. Kept herself balanced. Sort of straight out of the textbook.
Nice photo opportunity for the photographers. Oh, quite a bit of width there. But she won't be punished too badly. It will just be the single down to deep cover once again. And that should also be the end of the 7th over. Sussex Sharks 32 for 3. Green on 5. Wilkinson with 13 to her name. It's a Vitality T20 Women's County Cup. Sussex taking on Bucks. All tiers participating in this. Makes for an exciting competition.
Yeah, it does. I really like it as the idea of a competition. You know, I mentioned it earlier. We love a giant slayer, something like the Football FA Cup, and that's the sort of version that they're looking at here with this Women's T20 Cup, as the professionalisation of the women's game continues to grow across the country.
Yeah, and it's a rapid fire as well. It's a lot of matches being played over the next 2 weeks, and finals day is actually going to be down in Taunton, I think, on the bank holiday Monday. Is that the 26th?
26th of May, I believe.
So all teams from all three tiers. An exciting one. Tiers 1 teams enter at round 3 of the tournament.
So change in bowling, Beth Talbot. So we're going to continue with spin. A little moon ball to start things off. Keeping the sunnies on to bowl. In the gloom of Brighton and Hove here, but, you know, whatever works for you. Keep your sunglasses on.
I always think that must be so distracting. Sunglasses or a cap on to bowl.
Again, full and just about dug out. As Talbot almost takes out green at the non-striker's end. Yeah, bowling in a cap, there's a certain few people who can get away with it. And sometimes it just keeps your hair out of the way. Just missing her line here, Talbot.
Just giving it a lot of flight.
You can see it's really blustery. The shirt's blowing around. So it is difficult when you give it that flight and the wind can kind of just take it. This time darted in and wide down the leg side.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a few hand warmers in the pockets of some Bucks players out there in the field. Especially when they've played at the weekend and they've probably been used to having sunglasses on, sun cream and extra drinks breaks because it's been warm, and then suddenly today.
Just waits on this one. Lovely shot through the covers, and that's going to be 4. Wilkinson continues the rebuild.
Yeah, just waited for it, waited for that slightly looser delivery, and she makes good use of her feet. Another needed boundary for Sussex. 39 for 3. Well, that's definitely going to be wided.
Yeah, slipped out the hand, didn't it, from Talbot. Needs to just take a moment here. She's got plenty of time. Just take a breath and just stick to what she knows. Don't try and do too much too early. Wilkinson going at a runnable 17 at the other end. Yeah, and that's much better. Just finds that outside edge. It's going to go fine enough. Fielders in pursuit. It's just slowing up somewhat. And a good bit of relay fielding. Again, it's that long part of the ground, isn't it?
Yeah, they've made sure to find the longest parts of the ground. Perhaps maybe just looking at options down the ground with that extra flight might just bring some rewards for Sussex.
Fielder comes in from deep cover to cut that off. A little slow from the infield. And so they'll pick up one more. And still want to come in this Talbot over. She spins the ball to herself. I know people who do that in shops with apples. And this time darted in. And that's a good finish to a very mixed bag this over. So at the end of 8, Sussex Sharks, after being put into bat, 43 for 3. And the recovery is on. They found themselves 8 for 3 at the beginning of the 3rd over. So these two just building a partnership.
Yeah, it was a much better last ball as well to end the over. From Talbot, that's probably where she wants to be bowling 90% of her deliveries. Yeah, it's a good recovery here from Sussex. Just keep going the way they are right now, and hopefully at a certain point they can decide when they want to accelerate again. But at the moment, Phoebe Wilkinson is making the most of those slightly looser deliveries. She's finding the boundary. And it is going to be Tegan Stockdale to continue from the Cromwell Road end, where Sussex also have their training nets, and I believe the men's team are probably in the nets. I can see a few of them training ahead of their match this weekend against Worcestershire down here at Hove. Wilkinson on strike. I decided to get rid of a short third. We already have a third on the boundary. I'll go through the field in just a second. As Bucks finally decide where they want their fielders. And Stockdale's ready to go. Or gets a nick on it, but there's no slip, and that's going to run all the way down towards the boundary. That's a brilliant piece of placement there from Phoebe Wilkinson.
Yeah, it's not a bad delivery either. It's just a little straight, finds that outside edge, and it's gone so fine that the only thing that would have stopped it would be a sort of first or second slip. Wilkinson is going along really nicely here. She's now 24 from 20, and this is exactly the resistance that Sussex needed after the sort of shock wickets falling early on.
Stockdale in now, and this time off the full face of the bat. That's gone straight to point. There is no run. So we've got a short third back in again. We've got a wide third on the boundary. Point, deep cover, extra cover mid-off. Mid-on, mid-wicket, and a deep square leg. Here's Stockdale. A bit of width. And that's just going to be the one down to deep cover. A bit of an interesting field, I must say. Sussex move on to 48 for 3.
This is much better stuff from Stockdale. We saw a very mixed bag her first over, and she's just finding her line now. Saw a bunch of wides in the first over.
Straighter looks to pull, doesn't quite connect that cleanly, does Kiara Green, but nonetheless it finds the boundary down towards long off, right in front of the groundsman with the tractors. And Sussex move on to 52 for 3. 50 comes up on the board. Slower delivery. And this one's played to mid-wicket by Green. Doesn't get that one away. The sun's just starting to disappear a little bit, Georgie.
Yeah, it is.
You brought all the layers with you, didn't you?
I did. I actually brought a thermal. There's a hat in my bag as well, just in case. The winter coat. You just never know anymore when it comes to cricket season. You've got to be prepared for everything.
Straight delivery. Green goes across the line. That rolls away in front of her. And that will conclude the end of the 9th over as well. Sussex 52 for 3. We have a cut-off time of 3:43. So another 11 overs to be bowled in that time, which I think they should get done just in time. Is there going to be a change in bowling from the C end?
It looks like it might be Amelia Ridgway.
A few discussions taking place.
Seems to be the trend, the long plait ponytail, actually. The low plait. We saw McBain rocking it earlier, now Amelia Ridgway. Maybe it's a thing in the Bucks side.
Make sure you have a plait.
Yeah. So just moving the field around to mid-wicket. We've got a... So coming from the C end here, Amelia Ridgway, which is a name I really like for an end at a cricket ground. Wilkinson on strike. She's 25 from 22, so doing a lot of the heavy lifting in this Sussex side. After we lost 3 early wickets, left arm round the wicket from Ridgway, who starts with a dot.
Again, some more left arm spin. Things you love to see.
They've got a abundance of it, it seems, this Bucks side.
Yeah, Worcestershire have a couple as well, I believe. But it's not something that you see in every side.
This one just a little flatter. And a bit of a misfield means they easily come through for one. Think about coming back for a second. and decide not to take on the throw, which is slightly wayward. That score moves on to 53 for 3. Again, darted in.
Oh, it was a good delivery. Green looking to cut, but it was a bit too close to her to create that space.
This one given a little bit more flight. Looks to try and turn it around the corner, does Green. And this is good from Ridgway, because runs were just starting to leak in the last few overs, especially from a few extras and the wides coming in. But just the one run off this first over from Amelia Ridgway so far, just slowing it down. And again, another dot ball. So one still to come in this 10th over. And there's a big appeal from everyone in green, but umpire completely unmoved. Julia Jarvis there says no.
I do think that was a pretty close call, though. I nearly went up from the commentary box with that one. It was a very close call. And I think especially against the left-arm spinner, Sussex, and trying to score runs by staying in their crease, and the fact that there's not much pace on the ball, that is going to be difficult for them to generate that power unless they look to do something different to disturb the line, maybe use their feet a little bit more, open the field up a bit, and then they can go back to their normal. But at the moment, it is going to be a little bit difficult to score off the spin unless they try to create that opportunity. We have a change in bowling from the Cromwell Road end. It's having an adjustment in field.
It looks like it's going to be Molly Carter.
It is Molly Carter, number 18. Sussex 53 for 3. They're keeping some seam on from the Cromwell Road end. There's Wilkinson. She's on 26. It's forward and goes to drive. That beats the bat. You've got a third point, deep cover, extra mid-off, same field on the offside. Long on, mid-wicket, square leg who's in front of the umpire. And a 45 who's rather fine. This one is driven by Wilkinson through the offside. It's a beautiful looking drive for one as it's fielded by deep cover.
It's one of those shots, if you just saw it in isolation, you'd say that was 4 written all over it, but it just didn't quite have enough power on it. Fielder out there at deep cover cuts it off. They're coming through for a little discussion in the middle of the pitch, these two.
And Green's on 10. She faces up now to Carter. Oh, that's a lovely looking drive through the offside by Green, but they'll come back for 2. That doesn't go all the way, although it was hit rather firmly. Good job down in the deep. Sussex come through to 56 for 3.
I definitely thought that was another one. It looked like it had 4 written all over it as it came off the bat, but again, just that longest part of the field.
Straight to delivery, and that's been dug out by Green.
Yeah, Carter's done well there to stick a hand out.
Yeah, if she didn't get anything, that could have gone straight down the ground.
Something about fielding off your own bowling, isn't it? You suddenly become a wonder fielder. Chuck yourself around.
Saving your figures as this one's left alone, and that beats the bat, it beats the keeper, and it's a brilliant piece of fielding down in front of us by third. I believe that's Stockdale, Kaya Stockdale with the dive. Absolutely brilliant. That stops the boundary. But 2 is added to Sussex's score. They're 58 for 3.
Yeah, 50 partnership up between Green and Wilkinson as well.
On this one, she's been bowled. Goes across the line, does Kiara Green. Looks to find that space in the leg side. And this one, well, it's found the stumps. And that's a wicket here for Buckinghamshire. Sussex are now 4 down with 58 on the board.
Yeah, full and straight, and it's just annihilated middle stump. She looked to swing across the line, and that's what they needed, because that partnership had just reached 50 and they'd really rebuilt well in this pair. But the end of 11 overs now, Sussex Sharks, after being put into bat, 58 for 4.
Yeah, just played all around it, that one. That was a wicket that Buckinghamshire really needed. That partnership was just getting started. Into the 12th over now, as we wait for the new batter to make their way out into the middle. And it's going to be Talitha Stanley. And by the looks of it, I think it's just starting to rain. There's a little bit of drizzle around the ground at Hove. The groundsmen have suddenly got up on their feet. They're by the tractor. They're hovering.
It's never a good sign, is it? And I can see a few from the crowd making their way under the cover. But I can also see blue sky. To my left, looks like a lovely summer's day, sort of, with a few sort of cumulonimbus Simpsons clouds. To my right,
it's dark.
It's very dark, and there are fielders and players running in all directions, and it looks like we are going to be heading off the field, which is a real shame.
Yeah, a real shame. Buckinghamshire have been doing a good job with the ball. Got Sussex 4 down, 58 on the board. They were 8 for 3 with some brilliant bowling by Tasha McBain, some left arm spin. She picked up 3 wickets, the wickets of Molly Adams, Izzy Collis and Rachel King. And we've just had a bit of a partnership that's been broken between Cara Green and Phoebe Wilkinson. And the players are making their way off now, and the covers are coming on down here at Hove. I'm sure it's something that's just passing. They're walking back to the dressing rooms as the groundsmen do all they can to protect the pitch. And the spectators are all trying to find shade now. This is quite a funny scene, actually. Everyone's just trying to go and protect themselves from the rain. Some dark clouds are looming to the right-hand side of the county ground down here in Hove. As the players make their way off, umpires also headed off the ground. Phoebe Wilkinson on 27 not out there in the middle, top scoring so far for Sussex. Just trying to figure out if it stopped raining.
I'm trying to understand the radar that I'm looking at online, and it's they're all a bit beyond me, but one of them is telling me that the rain's going to continue for 56 minutes.
It's going to continue for another 56 minutes.
Well, that's what this one is telling me. But also, if I look over there, the clouds don't look too heavy, so I'm not yet convinced that that's correct. Are they already going off with the covers?
Well, that's what I'm just trying to figure out. The covers came on, and now the sheet cover...
The covers never went down.
No.
They sort of came on
and
the
players are back on their feet
wandered
now.
off. Players are back.
They're headed back towards the ground.
It's like a dress rehearsal.
It was the shortest rain interval.
They barely sat. I don't think they even sat down.
They didn't even reach the dugout. Umpires are coming back on. Julia Jarvis and Rayma Chandaria said, right, that's it, the rain stopped, let's go.
I like this though.
No messing about.
No messing about. How often in cricket do we get it? And they just spend so long, pansying around when there's rain and you think it stopped raining, we don't need to wait another half an hour to have an inspection to then say that the inspection will bring us on, and after that you can come back on in half an hour. We just stop raining, right, we're back on. Done.
Well, the stumps are still being put back into place. It's going to be put back in by the umpires.
I think the only people that really might have caused any kind of disturbance to is the two batters. I mean, we've got a new batter out there in the middle, so it's not like she's going to have a break in concentration, but someone like Wilkinson, she's been out there, she faced 26 balls, she's now going to face the next delivery, but she's had this tiny little break, she's gone off and coming back on again. You know how often when we have a drinks break, so often brings a wicket.
I was just about to say, it's like what they say during a drinks break, drinks brings wickets, and you just hope for Sussex's sake that that is not the case here, and that Wilkinson's concentration has not left her. She's on strike. She's going to be facing up against Amelia Ridgway, and I think you've got this over from the CN, don't you, Georgie?
I do indeed. Amelia Ridgway, she started well, just the one off her first over. Wilkinson also going really well, 27 from 26, part of this rebuild. And just gives that the full straight bat, and there's again no run off the first ball of the over. So we haven't yet had the dreaded wicket after a break. It was a very short break anyway. We've almost forgotten about it already.
It's like it never happened.
Like it never happened.
Well, lucky we don't have those clouds that are to the far side of the ground, actually, towards the Cromwell Road end.
Extra flight here goes Ariel, and the catch is taken. Well. The rain break, the very short rain break, and then we had a dot ball, and then Wilkinson, who had been so instrumental in this rebuild for Sussex, is now going to have to trudge back off to the dugout, and this time she will be able to sit down because that is the end of her innings for today. Well taken, diving to her left. I think it's Charlie Maley there.
That is a brilliant catch. That's always hard, going to your left, the ball's dying on you, but to keep hold of it as you hit the ground, that's a brilliant catch. And Sussex lose another. They're 58 for 5. It's like we almost jinxed that, didn't we, Georgie?
Yeah, apologies.
Commentators' curse is a real thing. Wilkinson will have to go 27 off 28. Important knock there from her. But now there's two new batters out there in the middle for Sussex.
Yeah, 2 wickets to fall with the score on 58. So this is just what they would have needed, Buckinghamshire, because they started so well, got the squeeze on, took really early wickets, allowed that 50 partnership to just creep in, a few extras and wides, a little bit of misfielding, and those two just really got themselves going. And now 2 batters yet to face.
Yep, 2 new batters. Eve O'Neill.
Just darted in this time, and well, is that put down? She stuck out her left hand. I think there was a chance there.
There was definitely a chance there. I think that probably took her by surprise. O'Neill shaped up to hit that into the leg side, and that's gone straight back at Ridgway.
Flighted again this time, played nicely through the covers, and O'Neill is off the mark. I mean, it would have been a great catch, a sort of reflex, stick out your left hand kind of catch, but that is her dominant hand.
Yeah. Well, Talitha Stanley, left-hander. She just takes her guard.
It's brightening up again now. I can see some blue sky over to the right. But as you say, in the distance, over the Cromwell end, it doesn't look particularly summery.
And I'm just trying to figure out which direction the clouds are going.
So coming over the wicket this time, just dug in, almost stuck in her hand a little bit of a drag down. But again, just the 1 run so far from the over and the wicket, the important wicket. And she'll finish the over with a dot. So a really successful over for Bucks that. The 1 run and the wicket coming from it. 12 overs gone, Sussex Sharks, 59 for 5. I think the wind is coming from over in the right, which is where there is a bit of blue sky.
I feel like it's coming diagonally from, it's not coming exactly from the right, it's like to the far corner by that flat, just in front of the newly put up stands for the T20 blast games. I feel like the wind's coming over from that angle. We shall find out. If those clouds are meant to be lingering up above us, they'll be here soon. But let's hope not. Molly Carter's got ball in hand from the Cromwell Road end. It's into O'Neill, who's forward and plays this to mid-wicket. There is no run. Vitality T20 County Cup fixture between Sussex and Buckinghamshire. Down here at Hove, of course, not to be confused with the Vitality T20 Blast. As this one's well guided down towards third by O'Neill. A single is taken.
And there's a lot of these matches going on today. There's actually 16 of them happening today.
Yeah, we've already had 4 so far. We'll run through some scores as well. But plenty of cricket being played, and it's quite cutthroat as well. Especially once those Tier 1 teams enter. Once you're in, if you play a game, you play another. If you don't win, you're out. If you win, well, you've got another chance to play another game. Here's Carter to Stanley. Right arm over to the left-hander, hits this uppishly to mid-wicket. It will fall short. There's a shy at the non-striker's end. It misses, and there's going to be some overthrows. They'll come through for a single.
Yeah, they thought about coming back for another then. I feel like it was a bit unnecessary, actually. The throw was a bit aggressive. I think she was safely home at this point.
Yeah, 2 runs from that ball. 62 for 5. Yeah, we had 4 fixtures already in the Women's County Cup. Hertfordshire have played Bedfordshire and Huntingdonshire. Shropshire have played Norfolk. And this is a full toss. It's driven. It beats diving extra cover. And they'll come back for 2. Some good running out there in the middle by Stanley and O'Neill. And Sussex move on to 64 for 5. Cambridgeshire have played Herefordshire. And Staffordshire have already played against Cumbria. So Hertfordshire have won their game by 7 wickets. Shropshire have won theirs by 46 runs. This one's just on leg stump line. That's gone into the leg side. No runs taken. Cambridgeshire have won their first game as well by 9 runs. And Staffordshire have won theirs by 7 wickets against Cumbria. And right now, there's plenty more games in play. I've never seen so many women's fixtures on at once.
It is very exciting, and counties don't necessarily...
Here's a full toss. It's driven and straight to extra cover by Stanley. There is no run, and that will conclude the end of the 13th over. It should. It does. Sussex 64 for 5.
Yeah, counties you don't necessarily hear too much about, and that's what's so exciting, I guess, with all this new tier system and the cup coming in, that they are being given this sort of publicity. And, you know, for young girls in those areas, they now know that there is a chance that they can really get involved and play more cricket.
Yeah, it's also to know that you could also be playing against teams in a higher tier to you, and as an opportunity just for a player that if you were to go and perform, take wickets, score runs against a side that's in a higher tier, you can get noticed.
I mean, look at McBain today. She came out and just put the absolute wobbles on Sussex early on.
Yeah, she did indeed.
3 for 8 from her 3 so far. I mean, talk about that for a start. Well, Ridgway is going to start her 3rd over here, the left armour. Real bit of flight here, driven nicely through the covers, and again it'll just be the single to O'Neill.
A left-hand, right-hand combination might just help Sussex now. So it was a little bit difficult for the bowling side just to find that adjustment in line, especially when strike gets rotated quite frequently. Might just help Sussex.
Given a bit of extra width here, and it's gone through the covers, a diving effort. And deep cover comes in and cuts it off. Again, just the one run.
The sun's back. I'm very confused by the weather down here.
I can't keep up. Darted in again by Ridgway. It's just a lone gull as well, sort of floating above the ground. This time goes aerial, falls just short of extra cover inside the ring. Sometimes those are the most difficult ones because you almost think diving forward you might be able to try and cut it off, and then you sort of...
You want to save your teeth as well?
Save your teeth, yeah. Think about the orthodontistry. And coming over the wicket to the left-hander. Looks to just rock off the back foot and goes through to the keeper this time. So just the 3 runs so far from this over. Ridgway's kept it very tidy from the sea end. And it'll be a dot to finish the over. So the 3 runs coming from that one. 14 gone. Sussex Sharks 67 for 5.
A nice tidy little over there from Amelia Ridgway. Just keep things tight. Make Sussex have to really work for every single run. That's an important knock there from Phoebe Wilkinson as well for Sussex. 27 off the bat from her. Very important. It would have been nice to see her continue and convert that start. But unfortunately, maybe just a lapse in concentration as we broke off for a little rain break. Can't even call it a break. It was barely a break. This one's been signalled a wide.
I'd forgotten about the break already.
I'll come through for an extra run as well. 67 for 5 here, Sussex Sharks. Lots of running around in the field for Bucks now with this left-hand, right-hand combination. Here's Molly Carter. Straighter line, it's pushed to mid-wicket. There is no run. Brilliant setting down here at Hove though. Got some spectators in the balconies of their own flats as well to our right. We've got a Sussex flag on the balcony. This one's driven through cover. That's beautifully played. She leans into it. And a single is taken.
That's a dream, isn't it? To be able to sit on your own balcony. You don't even have to leave home and you can watch.
Oh, it's great. Especially down here where it's a T20 blast fixture. The atmosphere is definitely one to experience. And you see so many of these balconies crowded. This one played off the hips. Well fielded at square leg. But they will nick the single. 71 for 5. Have you ever been down here for a T20 blast game?
I've not, no. I've never been to the game, but I've never been to this ground before. I've only made my way down to Brighton once before in my life.
Oh, it's your debut down here at Hove.
So my maiden trip to Hove. Nice part of the world, though.
This one just tries to work that into the leg side. That comes off a thigh pad of Stanley. Yeah, it's great. You should really try and get yourself down during a T20 blast game. I came down last year and I think it was Sussex versus Lancashire, if I'm not mistaken. This one off the front foot to mid-wicket. Some good bowling here from Molly Carter, keeping things tight. We're into the 15th over as well. Good job here from Bucks. width. Gone straight to extra cover, gets down in a long barrier. That doesn't go past her, and that will conclude the end of the 15th over. 71 for 5, with 5 overs remaining. Sussex, I'd want to just accelerate a little bit.
Yeah, you'd think so. That run rate is down below 5 at the moment. They want to push that up above the 5 mark. Obviously, they were unlucky early on. They lost 3 very early wickets. That would have sort of put the cobbles on the scoring. But that 50 partnership to recover in the middle overs has really helped them get up to this 71. But they're going to want to try and see if they can push up to that 3 figures. If they can make 30, they want to start going at 6 and over for the next 5, but they have struggled to get Ridgway away. She's taken the 1 wicket and gone for just 5 runs. She's in from the sea end, and it's just chipped up as Long On comes in and cuts it off, and it'll again just be 1 run.
Yeah, been a good job by the spinners for Bucks. They've varied the flight, they've varied the lengths.
Over the wicket this time, the left armour to the left-hander. She's very quick through her overs as well, isn't she, Ridgway? She sort of walks back to her mark and turns on a penny and is already off and going again.
Yeah, doesn't give it much time, does she? Which is good in a way, because you don't allow the batter to settle, because I think in the shorter format, especially in T20s, it's very much the case that the batters take the momentum of the game ahead with them. So if you can try and keep things under your control.
This time it's just turned behind square, and again it'll just be just 1 run. See, actually, as a batter, I don't mind not having too much time. You know, sometimes you have too much time to think about things and you sort of wander off to square leg, have a bit of a think, have a bit of a garden when you've got a pace bowler who's taking ages to get back to her mark. This time, really giving some flight. Eyes sort of lit up there, did Stanley. She was trying to drive that back past Ridgway. And just straying down the leg side. So, not quite the end of the over yet. And again, she's already going again. Much better. She's just driven through the covers. 3 fielders in chase. And a little bit of teamwork to get the ball back in. Brings the 16th over to a close. At the end of 16, 4 still to come. Sussex Sharks, 76 for 5.
Yeah, gets through her overs very quickly. I feel like I might have to time the next over, actually.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful setting down here at home. Just look at that. You've got the stands to your right, the Shark stand, and then the hospitality boxes on the left-hand side of the media centre. Beautiful setting. And Georgie, if this is your first time down here, you better get up to the top of the media centre. There's a little viewing area, and I think that's probably my favourite spot here down at the ground. You have a beautiful view. You can see absolutely everything, and it almost seems like you're just in the game. As Wally Carter's going to be continuing from the Cromwell Road end. She'll be bowling her 4th over. And she runs now, and some creative batting here from Stanley. This one runs all the way down towards the boundary. She got into position early. She watched it well. It's a boundary for Sussex.
This is lovely. She moved really early and just manages to lap it over, gets it fine enough, and pick up 4. And these are the kind of runs they need to just try and increase that run rate. Looking up to push up over that 5 as we head into the sort of dying overs.
Looks to do it again. This time doesn't get the line she wants. Always set up to go one way, and then Molly Carter caught her out, saying, "Don't move too early, I know what you're trying to do."
Or will she try and do it a 3rd time?
The thing is, when you try and get down and go for the lap shot and those sort of shots, you need to at least get into position early. They're premeditated. You know that's what you're going to do. So trying to minimize all the clues you can give to the bowler can be pretty difficult. This one down the leg side and almost attempted to stump as well. She's done a good job to stretch herself back into the crease. It's sunny again though, so it's nice as this one's pushed to extra cover and fielded. It's come off the knee, that must leave a bruise. Sussex 81 for 5, the Sussex flag flying vigorously above the scorebox. And this one's cut away. Nicely played. Will just be the oh, they're looking to take on the arm, and they do. It's not a single, it's a couple of runs added to Sussex's total. 85 for 5. 83 for 5.
Yeah, that's good running. Put the pressure on the fielder. And she was right out on the boundary. So they ran the first one hard, turned quickly. And this is what you want in these sort of later on overs. Really put that pressure on.
That's well played by Stanley through the leg side, glanced off the legs. They'll come back for a couple of runs. She finds the gap, 85 for 5. Stanley on 16 of 23. And this one, again, she gets a little bat on it. And does she get enough on it? Oh, that's gone all the way. It was a good effort out in the deep by Kaya Stockdale, but unfortunately she lost sight of the ball. And that is going to conclude the over with a boundary, and Sussex Sharks are 89 for 5.
Yeah, so 3 overs still to come. That 100 very much looking on for Sussex Sharks. And actually, when they found themselves 8 for 3 inside 3.1 overs, we thought this could be a very quick batting innings, but they dragged it back really well. That partnership between Green and Wilkinson in the middle that really helped get them back in the game. Looks like we're going to go back to the bowling of Beth Talbot, who went for 11 from her first over. There were a few extras started to creep into the game. There's also a few hats flying around. They keep flying off heads for the Bucks players. It is quite windy, and I did just get a notification saying light rain is expected soon.
Oh, don't listen to that sort of negativity.
But who knows? So Beth Talbot.
The cloud opposite us knows.
I'm trying not to look at the cloud opposite us. I'm looking. Well, actually, no. There's cloud in all directions now.
You're lucky on the stream you can't actually see how dark and ferocious that cloud looks. It's starting to get a bit breezy. The weather's got its own mind here. It's having mood swings.
Isn't it just? Beth Talbot strays down the leg side. I think just managed to get some bat on this one, O'Neill. It's gone very fine. Fielder comes round from third, cuts it off, but they'll come back for a second. They're into the 90s now, Sussex Sharks.
Yeah, they've rebuilt well.
No ball signalled.
From 8 for 3 to 92 for 5.
This will be a free hit, so O'Neill has the chance to really swing her arms here. Darted in from Talbot, and this time signalled wide. So again, those extras just creeping in, and still the free hit from the previous delivery. 93 for 5. Full toss, hit straight back to the bowler. Put down, wouldn't matter anyway, because it's a free hit. But as we were saying earlier, how often do we see that?
It was struck quite hard as well.
This time just beating that edge. That's a really nice delivery from Talbot. She's struggled a little bit so far, but not let it get to her. This time again, darted in, driven back, and it'll be Long On who comes around, cuts it off for just the single. It is blustery. You can see it on Talbot's shirt.
Yeah, it's difficult as a spinner as well, trying to bowl against the wind. Controlling the ball. It's like you have to work just twice as hard.
Coming round the wicket this time to the left-hander, and it's a wide signalled fielder giving chase. Just going to cut it off inside that ring, inside that boundary even. It's hands on hips from Talbot. Goes for the drive, just beating the edge again. Well taken behind the stumps. One still to come in this over from Talbot. And again, a mixed bag. That's a good, tidy finish. Just the single, going to have to be quick. And they make it home easily. So 18 overs gone. Another 2 still to come. Sussex Sharks 98 for 5.
Yeah, I think I've been pretty impressed by Buckinghamshire with the ball. They've done a really good job. A few wide deliveries, but they've kept things as tight as they can. They've picked up wickets. They haven't had too many hit-me balls. And with 2 overs to go, I think they should be quite happy with themselves. I think Cara Duggan is going to be coming back into the attack. Starting to drizzle again, but it's a bit of a weird one because it's blue skies and it's a bit of drizzle. You can see it on the stream. Here's Duggan, down the leg side, it's a wide. And they will make the most of that opportunity to run as well. Sussex, 98 for 5. 99 for 5, apologies. It's a bank holiday and my maths is... This one beautifully struck down the ground, over the head. That's a very well played shot there by Stanley. You want to see more shots like that. Take on the short boundary. It was right in the slot. And that brings up the 100 on the board for Sussex Sharks. They're 103 for 5.
Yeah, magnificent shot to bring up the 100, that for Sussex. And at one point it didn't look like they were going to make it into triple figures. As the rain begins to fall again.
Duggan in this one. She looks to pull. Oh, it's put down at mid-wicket. That would have been a fabulous catch. Unfortunately, that's gone straight in and straight out off the hands of mid-wicket. It will be difficult running behind her. They pick up a single. 104 for 5. This one again goes to pull, and it's going to land in no man's land. They want the 2, but they decide against it. Wise decision. 105 for 5.
I don't mind this from Sussex, though. They're sort of starting to take risks in these final few overs. They know that 105 might not be enough on the board.
Again, down the leg side. I'll get an extra one there as well. Yeah, especially at this point. You're into the 19th over. Try and just take the risks, accelerate, because you want to at least have a nice defendable total on the board. That's not going to cause too much pressure to your bowlers as well. As Duggan, right arm round the wicket to the left hander, and this one's clipped away by Stanley, and she's picked that up beautifully, and that goes and hits the advertising hoarding by the hospitality boxes. That's a beautiful shot.
Yeah, she picked it up nice and early, didn't she? The left-hander just clipped away. It's not just about the power, it's about just the timing on that ball. There's no one out there on that boundary, and this is just what they would want. The momentum at the end of their innings, also take that into the fielding. They're now up 112 and still 8 deliveries to come. They'll be feeling much more confident now with this Sussex side.
This one's straighter. They'll drop it in and take on the single. Good running between these two here. Very good running indeed.
And a wise decision in the end by Duggan not to throw it.
Yeah, I think it's very clear what Sussex's strategy is going to be for these last 7 deliveries. Adjusting the field. Third brick comes into the ring. Third point, deep cover, extra cover mid off on the offside. She goes to pull, and that's put down at point. It's almost caught her by surprise. That was Amelia Ridgway. Come through to conclude the over. 19 overs gone. Sussex 114 for 5. We're into the final over.
Yeah, she was almost caught on her heels there, wasn't she, Amelia Ridgway? Just not quite, we always say it when you first start playing cricket, walking in with the bowler, that kind of situation, but she was just stuck on her heels and in the end fell just short. So we've got 1 over still to come here, 114 for 5. They'll be feeling pretty good about this actually now, Sussex Sharks. The rebuild since falling to 8 for 3, between 8 for 3 and 58 for 4, then they lost a couple of quick wickets. And now 114 for 5.
Final over, and it's been given to Tasha McBain, and I'm not surprised.
No, 3 for 8 from her 3. And sets off and sent back again. Final over. Quicker again through the air. Goes aerial this time. Lovely looking shot. 1 bounce. And that's going to be 4. And O'Neill is just seeing out these final few overs with a flourish.
That was a brilliant strike there from O'Neill. Picks up the length early, rocks back. Sussex have done a brilliant job getting themselves out of that sticky situation.
Goes aerial again. Fielder comes in this time, takes the catch. Well taken by Kaya Stockdale. And they won't mind that too much, Sussex. Into the final over. It was there to be hit. She just didn't quite get enough on it.
Yeah, it was a good catch out in the deep. It was just good to watch Kaya just take her time under the ball. It can be a little bit deceiving when you're out on the boundary and can't tell if it's too far in front of you or if it's going to be sailing over your head, but she took that extra split second, got under the ball. It was a nice easy catch for her in the end. Sussex lose another 118 for 6, and that's Eve O'Neill. She'll have to depart after scoring 20 runs.
Well, McBain now has 4 for 12, her figures. Not a bad day at the office for the young spinner.
Lottie Curling comes out into the middle. There's the new batter. She's going to be facing up to McBain. She's got 4 wickets to her name. Will she make it a 5th?
Again, darted in this time, just worked around the corner. Good running. And the backing up from Stanley at the non-strikers. So 3 balls still to come in this innings. Sharks 119 for 6. McBain just directing traffic, bringing in deep mid-wicket, comes up inside the ring, bringing everyone on the onside up inside the ring now. The left-hander, so the offside.
Well, if you're going to try and look to go big, the leg side's probably your first option.
Moved early, moved across really early, shuffled into that leg side, try and give herself room. Did Stanley, but McBain more than wise to it. So 2 deliveries still to come, 119 for 6. Stanley 27 from 30. Given a little bit more flight, goes aerial this time. It's going to land safe. And so it will just be 1. After all that effort and the big swing, just the 1 run. So 1 ball still to come. Field moves around again for the left-hand, right-hand combination. And brings up the 120. Final delivery of the innings. And it's a wide.
And she's been given. She's stumped. Lottie Curling comes down, uses her feet, doesn't get back in time. And that should be 5 wickets for Tasha McBain. That's absolutely brilliant bowling from her. And that will also be the end of Sussex's innings. They finish on 120. Maybe I've miscalculated.
Well, there's a little bit of confusion because it was a wide as well. So there is still 1 ball to come.
Oh, so they will... Yep, someone else will be coming out to bat. Got too excited.
This is actually, if she doesn't concede any more runs, her best figures. Previously had a 5 for 23 back against Oxfordshire for Buckinghamshire in 2022. So not a bad day at all for Tasha McBain.
It's a great day out. She was bowling brilliantly when she picked up those first 3 in the power play, and she comes back and she's still bamboozling the Sussex batters.
Putting on helmets, bats, gloves as they come out. Final delivery of the innings.
Should be the final ball as well. I believe it's Anna Lewis who's run on to face this final delivery. I'm pretty sure that was a frantic pad up in the dressing room there.
Someone get me some pads, please.
Someone find my thigh pad. Somebody tell me where my gloves are.
At this point, I think you just come out without a thigh pad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You just go for it. Facing the spinner, 1 still to come. 121 for 7. She's been sent off again. There's all confusion. I'm not sure what's going on. But the umpire has sent Lewis back again. And I'm not sure why.
No one seems to be really having a Scooby, what's going on? Julia Jarvis is having a chat with Talitha Stanley. Anna Lewis has run off again. Don't know what she's going to get. All the Buckinghamshire girls have gathered together by the pitch. And someone's legged it up the stairs, back into the dressing room.
What was that cut-off time, Nikki?
15:48.
Right, which was 9 minutes ago.
It was.
Well, this is...
A bat's been run down.
Well, they're quite necessary, actually.
You can't really go out into the middle without it.
This is a lot of action for one delivery still to come.
It is. What's cricket without a little bit of drama?
Watch this be a dot ball.
Well, the scoreboard now says 8 wickets down. Beth Harvey's come out into the middle. Anna Lewis has gone off.
Here's McBain, final delivery. And it just finds the bottom edge. Oh no, it doesn't. Signalled wide. They'll scamper through, and there's still one to come.
It's been signalled wide by Julia Jarvis. I'm trying to figure out why that was wided. We're not in the best position from where we're sat. We're actually like a wideish long on.
So now the final delivery. Stanley, the left-hander, facing up to McBain with 5 for 16 today. And it's squirted away and fielded at extra cover. And they'll come through for one. Adds one more to the total. Well, after all the pantomime of cricket and that final delivery, we do have the end of the innings. So 20 overs done. Sussex Sharks, they made a really good recovery after falling to 8 for 3 inside 4 overs. They finish 124 for 8 after being asked to bat. And now the sunshine is out and there's barely a cloud above us.
It's a beautiful day for a bit of T20 cricket. Absolutely brilliant here from Buckinghamshire, though. They've been superb with the ball. Stanley top scoring for Sussex with 28, followed by Phoebe Wilkinson, 27 to her name. O'Neill with 20. And, well, looking at the bowling figures for Buckinghamshire. Tasha McBain, absolutely brilliant. A fifer for her. 14 runs given in her 4 overs. And we've got 1 apiece for Amelia Ridgway and as well for Molly Carter. But as the players make their way off to get themselves sorted for the second innings, we'll take a short break here and we'll join you on the other side.
Weak website? It could be a superstar. We do A/B testing, personalisation, social proof, product recommendations, baseline analysis to bring your bottom line over the line. Visit webtrends-optimise.com or call 0333 444 5502 today. Weak website? It could be a superstar. We do A/B testing, personalisation, social proof, product recommendations, baseline analysis to bring your bottom line over the line. Visit webtrends-optimise.com or call 0333 444 5502 today. Weak website? It could be a superstar. We do A/B testing, personalisation, social proof, product recommendations, baseline analysis to bring your bottom line over the line. Visit webtrends-optimise.com or call 0333 444 5502 today.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the county ground here at Hove as Buckinghamshire get ready to chase a target of 125. The umpires are making their way back out into the middle. Julia Jarvis and Roma Chandaria are our two umpires for today's Vitality County Cup competition. It's the first round and it's being played between Sussex Sharks and Buckinghamshire Women down here at Hove. I'm Nikki Chowdhury and alongside me I've got Georgie Heath and we're in for an exciting chase.
We are indeed. Well, when they found themselves 8 for 3, we thought it could all be a very quick innings, but there was the 50 partnership in the middle that really helped get Sussex up to that score, and then just some quick-fire run scoring at the end, a few extras that sort of bled into the Buckinghamshire bowling. So Sussex, I think they'll be feeling pretty confident coming into this fielding effort, defending 125.
It should be. Molly Adams has the gloves for Sussex. Looks like she's going to be standing up? No, she's just adjusting the field. Lottie Curling has ball in hand from the Cromwell Road end to open things up for Sussex. The sun is shining. The spectators have found themselves on the newly put up T20 stands across the ground and we're ready to go. In comes Curling to Fellows and she wafts at it outside the off stump. There is no run.
And we're getting a nice bit of shape curling just to start things off.
Annie Townsend and Tilly Fellows opening the batting for Bucks. As Lottie Curling makes her way in once again. And she's bowled. She gets a breakthrough with her second delivery. Fellows looks to go across the line. And her bails have gone. And that's a wicket here for Sussex. Bucks, 0 for 1.
Dream start this for Sussex. She's just looking to flick across the line. And Curling full straight. And that is the end of the opener.
Good start there for Sussex. Nice little movement down the hill from the Cromwell Road end for Lottie Curling. Bucks have been set a target of 125 down here at Hove. We make way for Beth Talbot. She comes in, takes her guard. Got a short third, backward point, deep cover, extra mid off, mid on, mid wicket, square leg, and a fine leg. Deep cover and fine leg are the boundary riders, only 2 out of the 30-yard ring in the power play. As this one's defended by Talbot.
Right on the money here, isn't she, Curling? Just getting that perfect line and length. Talbot does well to just get her back down and keep it out. Well, she's now dropped her bat already and readjusting her helmet.
Maybe she didn't quite get it on properly. Didn't expect a wicket to fall so soon. Maybe she was still getting padded up.
However, much easier. Having had short hair myself as well, much easier dealing with a helmet when you've got short hair than when you have to deal with the ponytail situation.
Never had short hair. Don't think I could pull it off.
I couldn't either.
Was that a bet you lost or was that just a...
Oh, it was 14 years of my life. Yeah, just as you do.
Fair enough. Well, she's adjusted her hair, her helmet and gloves. And she's ready to go again. Slightly back of the length, she looks to pull. It goes uppishly, just short of mid-wicket. There is no run taken, and if there was any confusion before we broke off for the short break on what happened when Anna Lewis came out to bat and then went off, and then we saw Beth Harvey come into the middle, Anna Lewis was timed out. So we sorted out the confusion here in the commentary box. This one's driven, gets an outer edge, and that's misfielded at third. It goes all the way down towards the boundary, and that's the first boundary of Bucks' innings. That's them opening their account 4 for 1.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy this from Phoebe Wilkinson, just lets it go through. It's a bonus boundary.
I should have really stopped that one. Almost went straight to her. It's a good delivery there from Lottie Curling. Dug out by Beth Talbot, and that will conclude the end of the first over. Bucks are 4 for 1. Just lost the wicket of Tilly Fellows. She's been bowled by Lottie Curling, looking to go across the line, and that was Sussex's first breakthrough.
Yep, just the dream start they would have wanted. Sussex defending a pretty good total in the end, 125, taking wicket with just the second ball of that chase, just what they needed. The only runs coming from that over. The bonus boundary, easy enough. The bonus boundary, easy enough for me to say.
It's hard when we get paid to talk. We can't get our words out. We've got
Sometimes you just can't get your mouth around.
No. We've got spin from the sea end. The skipper, Kiara Green, with some handy off spin coming into play. It's going to be bowling to Annie Townsend.
Yeah, quick arm bowler. Very first delivery of Green's spell, and the very first delivery of just the second over. 2 wickets now down, and this is a real trouble stations now for Bucks.
Yeah, flatter delivery, bit of pace on it. That's completely outdone her. That's 2 wickets now for Sussex. They're going to be happy. Townsend will have to go without getting off the mark. Bucks are 4 for 2.
Already 2 wickets down inside 2 overs. Bucks, and that target 125 suddenly looking even larger. And you can see a few of the players sort of skipping their step, the Sussex fielders. As the sun shines again now, we can see sort of dark clouds in the distance.
They're coming back to us, to our right-hand side. We'll just ignore them.
They don't mean anything anymore. They just, the 1 minute's cloudy, 1 minute's dark, and then it's bright. And we went off for rain for about 35 seconds.
We would be terrible weather forecasters.
We would, yes. So Green in again. And just lets this one go to Stockdale.
Yeah, bowling round the wicket to the right-hander. Just makes that angle slightly more difficult to get away.
Quicker through the air again this time. Worked around the corner. Fine leg, does well to cut it off. She's having real problems with her helmet.
I think she needs a new helmet. It just doesn't seem to be doing what she wants it to.
Well, sometimes, you know, the little bit at the back that you twizzle.
Those can be very temperamental.
Sometimes it gets stuck and then you've got to take your gloves on and off again.
I think it's actually better to have that button. Is it a button? No, what do you call it?
Oh, the squeezy. Yeah, I know what you mean.
As
yeah.
opposed to having the straps, though.
Quicker again through the air, just helped on its way out to deep mid-wicket. And they'll just settle for 1. So Talbot, now with her helmet on, seems all right. She's at striker's end. Just taking guard. Taking a leg stump guard, looks like. Oh no, shuffling across. I always get really awkward when you try and take guard and it takes a few goes and you get really embarrassed that you're sort of taking up time.
Well, time's at your essence if you're the batter.
And she just lets this one go through again.
Oh, I can see the rain. Just looks up above, behind those buildings.
Little foot movement from Talbot and just slashes it up to mid-off, and there's again no run. Oh, it does look dark. Look at that. It brings the over to a close. The wicket coming from it in the 4 runs. So at the end of 2, Bucks 5 for 2.
This might be a complete fib, right? But I was once told that you can tell if the rain's coming because the birds are the first one to guess it. And if the birds start flying, you know the rain's on its way.
Okay, but then I also heard that thing about cows. Something about if the cows are
Don't
around
see
the
any
outside
cows
of the
here.
field. And I can't see any cows, so there's no indication.
But we've got birds, we've got seagulls around the ground, just no cows. Maybe Sussex should just keep 2 cows at this side of the ground.
They
So
could employ us in a pantomime cow costume. There's something about cows hiding around the edge of the field. But I was never sure that was true either.
Here's Lottie curling from the Cromwell Road end. There's a full delivery that's blocked out by Stockdale. It's Tegan Stockdale. Yeah, if you see the birds start to fly off, apparently, that's the indication that rain is on the way.
And if you see a cow, we've got a bit more of a problem.
Yeah, please, hopefully we don't see any of those around here. Is full delivery, and he drives to mid-on. They'll take on a single, well run, and actually well fielded. It was a good sharp throw to the non-striker's end as well. 5 for 2 here, Sussex, Buckinghamshire. Sussex with the 2 wickets early on. If you just tuned in on the live stream, good afternoon, good evening. At what point of the day do you say good evening?
I never know, actually.
It's after 5 o'clock. Lottie curling in now, and this time Talbot is forward and defends. Some good bowling here from curling.
I'm never sure on the good evening thing. But I'd say maybe 5 o'clock seems about right.
I feel like 5 o'clock. Because I don't think you can say good evening at 4 o'clock. That's still afternoon.
that's
But
too
5
early,
o'clock it's.
yeah.
Here's Lottie curling. That's the full toss. This one's put away by Beth Talbot, but a brilliant effort at square leg to get a hand on it. So it won't go all the way, actually. I'll come back for a couple of runs. 8 for 2.
It was a great half stop, wasn't it? Had some spice on it.
I generally thought it was going all the way. Did not expect Anna Lewis to get a hand on it, but she's done a fabulous job at it. If you're watching on the live stream, those clouds look a bit too dramatic than what they actually are. I'll say that now. That signalled a free hit. It is. The previous ball was a no ball. As this one's driven, it's gone straight to extra cover where Izzy Collis fields, and didn't make the most of that free hit opportunity, unfortunately. But of course, if you are watching along on the stream, you can reach out to us, Georgie and I, on Twitter or X, where you're watching from, where you're listening from. As curling is in and Talbot forward defends. What's your handle, Georgie?
At Georgie Heath 27.
Nice easy one. Mine's at Nikki Chowdhury, but Nikki's with a double K-I and C-H-A-U-D-H-U-R-I. Always realise I have to spell it out because there's so many different variations of how one can spell Chowdhury. That this is the correct way. It's curling in again. Oh, this one picks up a little bit of height. Talbot watches it, does a good job, and that should conclude the end of the over. 3 overs gone. Bucks are trying to get themselves out of this early pickle. 9 for 2.
Yeah, a pickle very much is what they're in. They need to be going at almost 7 and over. Dark clouds really rolling in. Look at that, behind the floodlight. It's almost like we're in the eye of a storm. And you've got the dark either sides, but we're in a really bright bit of sunlight. Green is going to continue. Picked up a wicket with her first delivery. And there's a muted appeal.
It's almost as though she didn't know if she should appeal or not appeal.
It's one of those, if I don't ask, I don't get. But I don't think she was particularly convincing. And Julia Jarvis made no attention to it. Big swing at that one, just beats the outside edge. She's very quick through her overs as well, is Green.
Yeah, we've seen that with the spinners.
Quick through the air as well, and well fielded. A little bit of a wayward throw, but backed up nicely, and neither of the Bucks players really paying too much attention to coming through for an extra run there. That run rate required, easy enough for me to say, is now up over 7. It just darted in from Green. Goes aerial this time, comes out to deep mid-wicket, and 2 fielders just bisects the 2 fielders, and that will be the first boundary off Green's bowling. The score moves on to 13 for 2.
Yeah, that was good placement there from Tegan Stockdale. Just finds the gap, bearing in mind that Green has kept 2 boundary riders down there on the leg side.
She's just pushing Stanley slightly wider. And again, that's worked into the leg side. Feel that deep mid-wicket comes round to cut it off.
And good running out there in the middle by these 2.
So 6 coming off the over. 4 overs gone, Bucks 15 for 2.
Required rate of 6.8 and over. Currently going at around 3.7.
She's still having problems with her helmet, Talbot. It's off again.
Well, it's back on again now. Hopefully that doesn't cause her any distraction while she's out there. Changing bowling from the Cromwell Road end. Lottie Curling is going to come out of the attack. And to replace her, I believe, once I can get visuals, this one's a wide. Going to be a total added to Sussex's score, to Buckinghamshire's score, 15 for 2. Just starting to go overcast again as a bit of width, and too much width, as it's signalled a wide. Talianne Doherty is into the attack from the Cromwell Road end. She's having a word with her skipper, Kiara Green. Doherty to Stockdale. To Talbot, apologies, since that one's defended. She's got the brown helmet on. Beth Talbot. I don't see brown helmets these days. I remember Surrey used to have brown helmets, didn't they?
A few of them do still, actually. I was there yesterday, and a few Surrey players have got the brown helmet.
I do like the brown. As Doherty is in, and this one just drags back a little bit. It's blocked out by Talbot. The birds are flying up around the ground, looking for their tea. The seagulls, though, they're the ones who mean business. As this one's defended by Talbot. Just not in any rush to make use of the power play.
There's been some pretty good bowling as well from the Sussex bowlers. Doherty started with a couple of wides, and this is much better now.
Another defence Yeah, good bowling. You've still got to see if you can get one ball away. Make use of the fact there's only 2 people out on the boundary. Doherty to Talbot. Again, solid in defence. And that will not conclude the end of the over. There's one more ball to go. Seems happy with herself as she grins on her way back to the top of her mark. You would be. You've bowled 4 dots in a row. As one again defended. And now it shall conclude the end of the 5th over. Buckinghamshire are 17 for 2. Beth Talbot on 6. And Tegan Stockdale with 8 to her name.
Yeah, that target 125 looks a long way off for Bucks. They're just not going anywhere at any kind of pace here. That required rate now up at 7.2, and they're going at less than half of that at the moment. And they're just struggling to get it through the infield. The only runs coming from that previous over from the 2 wides that were bowled. The rest of them all dot balls. So Sussex have really got the squeeze on Bucks here, and they're going to have to start trying to take a few risks if they want to get themselves up at all in contention with that run rate.
Just looking at some of the scorecards up and down the country, Yorkshire are playing Derbyshire in the County Cup, and Yorkshire posted 205 in their 20 overs. Derbyshire are 58 for 3. It's looking at who scored runs, while Lauren Winfield Hill scored 88 with the bat. And Derbyshire are 3 down at the moment. Change in bowling from the C end as well. I believe it's Talitha Stanley.
Yeah, bit of pace now from the C end. Let's just hit on the up. Out to deep cover. They need to find a boundary. They need to find one pretty quickly because they're getting well behind on that run rate now. Up at 7.21 required.
Middlesex versus Kent. Middlesex posted 136 for 7 in their 20 overs with a half century from Finty Trussler. Kent are 42 for 1 in reply.
Just driven along the ground, and a slight misfield, but it doesn't cost anything in the end.
Low scoring game up in Northamptonshire, where Worcestershire posted 96 for 8 in their 20 overs and Northampton 49 for 2.
Oh, that's completely bamboozled Talbot. Just done for pace. Goes straight through to Adams behind the stumps, and she goes and has a little garden.
Top score of 18 from the skipper Chloe Hill for Worcester. Low scoring game. Up there.
Great delivery. Somehow that's missed. This is good stuff from Stanley, and they do well to scamper through for 1. Look at that Wasp down at 38%. All smiles at the moment, the Sussex bowlers.
As it rightly should be. Glamorgan versus Gloucestershire women. Glamorgan posted 183 for 4 in their 20 overs. Gloucestershire are 49 for 1 after 9 overs.
Again, that good line of length from Stanley. Just that probing line of length. Stockdale, all she can really do is keep it out. And I think the wind has blown the bails off.
I think it's just been signalled a dead ball by Julia Jarvis.
Ah.
If that doesn't tell you how windy it is, I'm not sure what will. The breeze is really picking up. The flag that I can see hanging off someone's balcony to the far right looks like it's about to take off and disappear.
The trousers of the players as well flapping around. Driven nicely along the ground, and a slight misfield Means that it will race for 4, and that's 4 bonus runs for Bucks.
Yeah, struck firmly down the ground. Kiara Green couldn't quite get down. She attempted a dive over the ball. 23 for 2 now, Buckinghamshire.
One still to come in this over, 6 coming from it so far. Stanley's first over. And again, struck nicely along the ground. And they do well to scamper through for 1. So Stockdale moves on to 14. Talbot 7 from 20 at the end of 6. 24 for 2.
And pretty much at par with each other on the worm at the moment. It's following in close strides. 24 for 2. Stockdale on 14. Talbot's with 7 to her name. And Talianne Doherty is going to be bowling her second over from the Cromwell Road end. 6 overs have gone. That'll be the end of the power play, and suddenly Sussex have dispersed their fielders. We now have 4 boundary riders, deep cover, a third, fine leg, and a deep square leg. As here's Doherty. This one's down the leg side. A very good take by Molly Adams, extremely quick with the gloves. Gust of wind. As this one just jags back and hits Stockdale on the thigh pad. Doherty. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. That's where she wants to bowl.
Yeah, it's got Stockdale in all sorts of confusion, hasn't it? It's just not quite sure whether she's going to go forward or back to it, whether she wants to swing across the line. That's exactly what you want probing from Doherty. Hunting that third wicket of Sussex.
Straight delivery blocked out once again. Good bowling here from Sussex. Very good. Right on the money, keeping it tight. That's going to build a pressure. They don't need to do anything else. Back of a length, and again, doesn't get it away. If you can just keep building the pressure like this, Bucks will start to feel like they need to do something. It's like putting control on how much oxygen one can get. They'll try and scramble, and that might just lead to a wicket. This one jags back quite a bit. That's caught Stockdale out. Goes down as a dot in the book.
Yeah, got her all in a tangle, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Brings Talbot all the way down the pitch to come and have a chat and a high five. Not really sure what you can say in that situation.
Don't rub it. A short one that's cut away. That's just going to be the single. There is protection. Phoebe Wilkinson, the fielder. And that should also conclude the end of the 7th over. Buckinghamshire 26 for 2. Stockdale with 15. Talbot with 7.
Yeah, required rate now at 7.62, and it just keeps pushing up and up for Buckinghamshire. They're not really going anywhere at any pace here.
No, they'll start to feel the pressure of this, though, if they continue with this sort of momentum. A couple of boundaries would do them nicely.
And again, Talbot having issues with her helmet.
Maybe it's not the helmet, maybe it's the hair. Because it's quite windy out there. Maybe the hair's getting in the face.
Perhaps.
Like it was so windy there that Talitha Stanley just had to pull out of her run-up. She was running against the wind.
She's in now. And played very late by Stockdale. Interesting. So we're looking at Wasp there, and it's telling us 42%. That seems a little high, if you ask me. They look like they're struggling to get any runs here at the moment, Bucks. They're falling behind. That run rate is up at over 7.7.
They're an optimistic Wasp.
Again, played quite late, just into the ground from Stockdale, but it's another dot. And with that, Wasp loses 2%.
It's like it heard you. Next round of the County Cup fixtures are on the 10th of May, on Saturday, where we pretty much half the number of fixtures.
And she's bowled up. Well, that is the end of Stockdale. Stanley finally gets her first of the day. Looks to have a big swing at this one, does Stockdale. And she'd struggled to score runs, and it just takes out just the bail on top of leg stump, actually. So really jagged back in. And there's a third wicket to go down for Bucks. Stockdale, she did well to survive 15 from 23, but now she has to go the third wicket down. Bucks find themselves 26 for 3. And Sussex in the wind are all over Bucks at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant here from Sussex. Stockdale will have to go, looking to go across the line. Once again, a few of those wickets that we've seen today that have been bowled, it's been the same story. It's just the pressure that Sussex have been able to build. It's caused the crumble. 26 for 3. They will be happy with that. Just the wicket in this over so far, no runs leaked. Round 2 to be played on Saturday. 8 fixtures across the weekend, up and down the country. And in the third round, that's when you see the Tier 1 teams come into play. If Sussex win this game and the game on Saturday, they could be up against a Tier 1 team.
Well, Sky Springett comes out to the middle. And just solid in that defensive position.
Lots of defences from Buckinghamshire. So if Sussex win today, they could go on to play either against Gloucestershire or Glamorgan.
Just beating that edge. Oh, that Wasp now down at 23%. The run rate required. I really struggle to say that one. The required run rate now at 8.14. And Stanley yet to concede a run from this over and picking up that wicket.
And if they win that game, they could be up against Lancashire Thunder.
Fuller this time, dug out nicely by Springett. And a wicket maiden for Stanley. So 8 overs gone. Bucks 26 for 3 and not really going anywhere at any pace here.
No, they're not, and they will need to do something about that as well. That could be a real challenge, that fixture, if Sussex make their way that far into the tournament. Doherty to continue. Cut-off time of 5:30. So roughly 45 minutes away. And so into the 9th over here at Hove. Back of the length, and this has gone straight to Collis at extra cover.
So Talbot has faced 21 deliveries for her 7, and she's just not really looked comfortable at any point, and not just because she can't get her helmet right.
Although I'm sure it must be distracting. Oh, this is really taking some height, and she goes to pull, doesn't quite time it, and that's ended up squirting towards mid-on. No run is taken. It's a dot in the book for Sussex. I'll be happy with that one. But it did seem to take Beth Talbot by a little bit of surprise. And again, that's taken some height.
She's almost fallen over there as well.
And you know it's actually taken height because Beth herself is quite tall. Doherty seems a bit happy with that as well. You won't complain as a bowler if the ball's doing a little bit more. This one straight to green at mid-off. They'll take on the single. It was a tight run. Had that hit the non-striker's end. That could have been close. But it wasn't. It was slightly wide. A throw, 27 for 3.
Yeah, Wasp down at 19% now. Singles aren't going to do it for Bucks if they want to drag themselves back into this game. Springett yet to get off the mark. Faced 3 so far. Doherty bowling nicely.
Nice one. That's just left alone. Four extras from Sussex. Bucks 27 for 3. Again, a defence. That is going to conclude the over from Talley Doherty. 9 overs gone. Bucks are 27 for 3. They're chasing a target of 125, and they have 11 overs in hand.
Yeah, it's looking very tricky. This almost needing 9 and over now are Bucks. And it's very tight bowling, so it's not really giving them anything to work with at all. Talbot 8 from 24, and there's some very chilly looking fans. The hardy cricket fan.
Got all the layers with them.
Dressed like Nanook of the North in the middle there. The full hood up, fluffy hood.
Yeah, it's a chilly one. Drastic drop in temperatures, but it's still good to see we've got some spectators here at the ground. And we're going to continue with spin.
Here we can see Eve O'Neill for the first time today. Made a run of ball 20 with the bat, so it's having a pretty good day.
Just going to be bowling from the C end.
Well, Talbot's had a real feel for that one. I think perhaps she hasn't got any bat on that. Would have been signalled wide. But she's used those long levers to really stretch.
She could have left that and taken the extra. That was a good stop by Izzy Collis. Bit of a leg spin. She's got a bit of turn as well.
Yeah, and caught in 2 minds as well, Talbot. Can't decide what to do. In the end, it just goes, rocks off the back foot and sort of drops it at her own feet. But 2 dots to start O'Neill's spell. She spins it to herself. And again, just flat bats this. And there's a shy at the stumps, but easily home. So they do come through for 1. The first run off O'Neill's bowling. Talbot moves on to 9 from 27. That Wasp is down at 15% now. Springett yet to get off the mark. Drives this one through the covers, and that'll be her first run of the day.
That's well bowled as well from Eve O'Neill. Nice little area she's found, and she's sticking to it.
Bit of extra flight from O'Neill, looking to just try and tempt Talbot, who's solid in her defence, finds that outside edge. And one still to come in this O'Neill over, just the 2 runs from it so far. Talbot surveys the field. Again, that extra flight and the early call, and good running in the end, so that means Talbot will retain strike for the beginning of the next over. 3 runs coming from that one, 10 gone. Bucks 30 for 3.
Yeah, good over there from Eve O'Neill. Proving that it's difficult to try and stay in one spot and play against spin. We've seen that in the first innings. I'm seeing it now as well. I'm going to have a change in bowling as Beth Harvey is going to be coming into the attack from the Cromwell Road end for the first time today. .30 for 3, Buckinghamshire.
Dropped well behind on the Wiggly Worms now.
They have indeed. They were at a point actually up and above what Sussex were. And now there's been a sharp decline. Beth Harvey. It's ball in hand. From the Cromwell Road end in to Beth Talbot. Bowling some off spin. That's defended. Back in the day when I knew Beth, she used to bowl seam.
It's much easier to bowl spin, far less running.
Less effort on the body.
Yeah.
She's in again, skips through, tosses it up. She's a bit of extra bounce because of her height. It'd be nice to see if Beth tries to use her feet here as it's pulled away. It's Beth to Beth and it's a shorter drag down from Harvey. And I'll get a single and they're looking for a second throw. What's going on here? That is some sloppy fielding by Sussex.
Very sloppy, and that's Stanley there. She backed up nicely when it came past Adams, and then she just lay on it in sort of a press-up position for a while, and so the 2 Bucks batters went, right, okay, we're going to run.
Tossed up, flighted and wided as well by the umpire, Ray Mandaria. Yeah, there was a bit of confusion what's going on there. This one's fuller, straighter, that has to be played by Talbot. 33 for 3. It's Beth to Beth right now.
It is, isn't it?
Slightly flatter, and this one's across the line. Played down to deep mid-wicket. Take the single. And that is going to be the over as well. No, it isn't. That's my bad. Can't count today. Bank holiday Monday, my brain's completely
frazzled.
See, I don't even have words anymore. No numbers, no words. As Harvey skips in. And this is turned into the leg side by Springer. And they'll take the single. And now that will be the end of the 11th over. Buckinghamshire are 35 for 3.
Yeah, not going anywhere at any particular pace here, these 2 Bucks batters. They're doing well not to get out, but the problem is, if you don't score runs, they're not going to win anyway. So they need to start trying to take on the bowling a little bit more, which is tricky because it has been tight from the Sussex bowlers. They've got 125 on the board to defend as well, so they'll feel pretty comfortable about that one. Remember, early on in their innings, they found themselves 8 for 3. So they did well to get themselves back in the game, and it'll be O'Neill. Just went for 3 from her first over. She's going to continue from the C end. Gives this one a bit of extra flight. And again, Springett can't pierce that infield.
Yeah, Sussex will be happy. They'll want Bucks to just continue like this. They don't mind.
Looks to try and rock back and hit that one through the covers. And again, just goes through to Adams. He doesn't take it cleanly.
With each delivery, they're getting further and further behind the required rate. Yes, you might not have picked up a wicket, but this game is yours.
They'll scamper through this time. Good running, put the pressure on the fielder. That's what they need to do. It's Beth Harvey there.
Here's some words of encouragement out there on the field.
This has gone aerial. Straight down the throat of the captain, Kiara Green. She makes no mistake. Fingers up catch. And that is the end of a somewhat turbulent innings for Talbot. She can go and take that helmet off now. And she's going to have to trudge back to the dugout. And Sussex are well on top here.
Yeah, good catch there from Kiara Green. Talbot looks to go big, gets a top edge on it, and Green backpedals and takes that catch Aussie style. And while Bucks, they lose another wicket, and Beth Talbot will have to go for 13 of 35 deliveries. She has eaten up a few deliveries. And it's time for her to make her walk back towards the dressing room. 36 for 4 Bucks. Some good bowling from Eve O'Neill.
So it brings Kaya Stockdale out to the middle to join Springett, who's at the non-strikers. 3 from 10 for her, and they need to try and find some boundaries. So they need 89 from 50, and it seems a very tall task for the team in green.
It does. There have been a lot of deliveries that have been played down as dot balls.
She just waits on this one and sort of flat back clubs it up to mid-on.
She'll be happy with that. Sussex will be happy. They know that they will really need something spectacular to come out of that side in green now. Just keep things ticking.
Bit of extra flight this time. Looks to turn it round the corner. Doesn't get anything on it, so wide signalled. One more to the total.
Seven for 4.
And just worked into backward points. And it'll be another dot ball. So 12 overs gone. Bucks really trudging through custard at the moment. 37 for 4.
I like that saying. It's a nice one.
Did you ever watch Brainiac when you were younger? Brainiac Science of Bruce.
Yes, I remember.
And there was an episode when they definitely got someone to walk on custard, and basically if you walked fast enough, you filled the swimming pool with custard. If you walked fast enough, you didn't sink into it, and you could actually walk on custard, but if you walk slowly, you start to sink.
It's like what they say about quicksand, right?
I'm pretty sure when I was a kid, I thought quicksand would be a far bigger worry in my life.
Here's Beth Harvey. She tosses this one up, and that's pushed to mid-on by Springett. Yeah, I thought I'd come across quicksand on more occasions than what I have, which is 0. It's Harvey's in again. Flatter. This one's played through the offside, and it will be a single. That does no harm to Sussex. I don't remember that episode, but I can just imagine a sight right now of a pool full of custard and someone trying to walk over it. 38 for 4. As Kaya Stockdale gets ready to face up to the off spin of Beth Harvey, and this is blocked out. As Blocked out. The sun is back down here at Hove. And Sussex are in a very, very good position. As this one's pushed to mid-on, they want to set off for a single and decide against it.
Yeah, wisely so.
Yep, left. Ooh, cut-off time in 28 minutes. That'll be enough time to bowl 7 overs. As this one's hit up in the air, it's going to land safe in no man's land, and it does. I'll come back for a couple of runs. 40 for 4 now, Bucks. Harvey at the top of a mark. Flatter delivery, and that's defended by Stockdale. And that will conclude the end of the over. 13 overs gone. Buckinghamshire are 40 for 4 with Springer on 4 and Kaya Stockdale with 2 to her name.
There's a few Sussex players sort of dancing around back into position.
Probably trying to keep warm.
Perhaps, indeed. The wind seems to have died down slightly. I don't know if that's because of the cloud cover. Eve O'Neill is going to continue. She's got ball in hand.
Yep, and she should. She bowled well. Only given away 5 runs.
Just waiting for Adams behind the stumps to get her gloves back on.
Yeah, 5 runs in her 2 overs, and she's picked up a wicket so far as well.
Finds that outside edge. There's a few hands on heads wondering why there isn't the slip in. Scamper through for a second. You have to be quick here. Adams is quick with the one hand. The finger goes up, and that is another wicket down. It was sort of a suicidal run in the end, but they needed to try and grab runs wherever they could. Just didn't quite turn and run fast enough on the second one. And that is another one that goes down for Bucks. And Sussex are all celebrations.
Yeah, that's a good piece of work in the field. And credit to Molly Adams. She was very quick. Great position. She knew exactly where the batter was. That's brilliant. 41 for 5 now, Buckinghamshire. Sky Springer will have to go. Good piece of work from Sussex. They're building this pressure, and the rewards are coming.
It brings Cara Duggan out to the middle to join Kaya Stockdale, who's 2 from 6. And they now need more than 2 a ball. Bucks, if they were to hope to try and win this one. Looks a very long way off. Weights on this one. It's a big mow into the leg side.
Yeah, that's some good work here from Sussex. They've been on their money with their bowling. And Buckinghamshire just haven't shown that intent.
Again, just worked around the corner. No, they'd need to do something really quite expansive here, either of these 2 batters. It's been a long time since we've seen a boundary. And now just the 5 wickets in hand. Flighted again, just beating that outside edge. Really good stuff, this from O'Neill.
Yeah, she's been good.
Again, really flighted. Struck on the pad. Finger goes up. Duggan Well, it was a short-lived time out in the middle, but she's going to have to go, and that's another one for O'Neill. The second wicket in the over, the run out, and now the LBW, and that's 6 down now for Bucks.
That is brilliant there. Duggan looks to sweep. She's been caught right in front, that dip in the flight. And unfortunately, Cara Duggan will have to go. Sussex well on top here now. Two wickets for O'Neill. She's been bowling well. 43 for 6 Bucks.
Yeah, it's a sorry-looking dugout.
Molly Carter, the new batter, makes her way out into the middle. Expansive is a very light term, Georgie, what you said. What we'll need to see. Sussex will be happy.
So one still to come in the 14th over from O'Neill, her third over. The run out and the wicket coming in this over so far. 37 balls remaining, 82 runs needed. Just waits on this one and mows it into the onside. Means that Carter will retain strike for the beginning of the next over. She's off the mark at the end of 14. Bucks 44 for 6.
Good bowling here from Eve O'Neill. I'm just having a look that Sussex are on track to be playing in round 2 on Saturday, and that would mean they would be coming up against Gloucestershire or Glamorgan. And looking at the scorecard between Gloucestershire and Glamorgan right now, Gloucestershire women need 58 runs in 2.4 overs. So it looks like they are on track to be playing against Glamorgan on Saturday. At the moment, Sussex versus Glamorgan in the County Cup, round 2. Here's what it looks like. Here's the plan. But they have to finish this game first. Beth Harvey comes in for her third over. Round the wicket to the left-hander. That's tossed up and defended by Carter.
We've seen a lot of that, haven't we? Really tossing it up, the spinners, and trying to tempt these Bucks batters, and they're really struggling to read it at the moment.
And I think that's fine that you're trying to tempt them and get them to maybe sky one and hit one straight down the throat. And this one slightly flatter, looks to cut away, does find the gap, and that's well fielded by Anna Lewis. It'll just be the one run. But I'm just thinking that should Sussex progress into the County Cup and they play a side that's stronger and they end up playing a tier 1 side eventually, I don't think these sort of deliveries would be something that those tier 1 sides would succumb to, as this one's cut away by Stockdale, and that should have legs to go all the way towards the boundary. It does. It's a boundary here for Buckinghamshire. They move on to 49 for 6. So I'm just trying to think that should they proceed and win the next game as well, coming up against a side like Lancashire, if you're going to be bowling balls that have that much flight on them, you might be taking the distance.
Yeah, you've got some really strong batters in that Lancashire lineup as well, who would just shuffle down, take you on, and send you to all parts.
Flatter delivery, and that's down the leg side, signalled. You're better off bowling some deliveries like that. You'd want to be bowling flatter, not too much temptation above the eye line, but of course keep it on the right line. Tossed up again, and that one will find its way down towards deep square leg. Will just be the single. 50's up on the board. 51 for 6. Buckinghamshire now. So yeah, it'll be important that they look at how they go with their bowling should they progress in the County Cup. Round the wicket again, Harvey, and this one It's cut away by Carter. She finds the gap between the two fielders, but not enough on the ball to go all the way, but good running. 2 on the board. Takes the score to 53 for 6. Carter's on 4. This one's tossed up and driven through the offside down towards deep cover. Nice placement here from Molly Carter. And that will be the end of the 15th over as well. 54 for 6, Buckinghamshire.
Yeah, Molly Carter's come out and she's looked busy since she's come out to the middle, trying to sort of get something going on the board, but it has been a very tricky time for the Bucks players with the bat in hand. There's been some tight bowling from Sussex, regular wickets falling, and Eve O'Neill is going to bowl her final one from the C end. She just brings short third round to fine leg to the left-hander. Again, gives it that flight, looks to sort of drive and finds skews off the inside edge. Does Carter. This time just drops it into the offside. Now, you'd feel if you were Sussex, you want to try and be ruthless, you want to try and take these final wickets if you can and sort of feel that positivity going into what could be the next round, rather than just letting it sort of peter out through the 20 overs.
Yeah, for sure, but still, when you're in a position like this, you wouldn't mind having to play the complete 20. It's definitely just a bit more of a patience and waiting game. .55 for 6 now, Buckinghamshire.
Yeah, very little foot movement from Stockdale, but slight misfield means coming through for 1 is easy for the 2 out in the middle. 2 runs so far coming off this over, 1 still to come from O'Neill's 4. 2 for 11 for O'Neill, really impressive figures. A final delivery of the 16th over. It just beats the outside edge and she's stumped, came shuffling out of her crease, and that'll be a 3rd wicket for O'Neill. Carter trying to get to the pitch of the ball, just misread it, turned past the outside edge, and good work again by Adams behind the stumps, and that's 7 down now for Bucks.
Yeah, it's a great piece of work. Good teamwork between O'Neill and Adams there. Very, very quick glove work. And Carter, you said she looked busy, but unfortunately was a bit too busy and did not get herself back behind that line. Molly Carter will have to go, scoring 6 from 10 deliveries. Stumped off the bowling of O'Neill. She's been impressive with the gloves, has Molly Adams. She's been in the game. Amelia Ridgway makes her way out into the middle. As that wicket concludes the end of the 16th over. We're going to have a change in bowling from the Cromwell Road end. Yes, Beth Harvey comes out of the attack and Tallyanne Doherty comes back in. Oh, and this one's a wide. Doherty to Stockdale. She started every single baller over with a wide, as Callie-Anne, but she brings it back. A bit bounce there, and that's off the back foot, defended by Stockdale. There's a good flow of energy amongst the Sussex players, coming off from a win at the weekend against Worcestershire in the One Day Cup, now entering the County Cup T20 tournament. This one's hit up in the air into no man's land, and they'll come through for a single.
We've seen a few go in the air and sort of land in that no man's land. They're trying to sort of inject something into these final few overs here, Bucks. I mean, the chances of victory looking a long, long way off, but at least have some kind of positivity coming into the closing, the dying overs of this game.
Callie-Anne Doherty in again, and good delivery. She's found her line. 58 for 7. "22 balls remaining, 67 runs to win." This Doherty in. This is short. This is cut straight to point. There is no run. That seems to have been hit pretty hard as Talitha Stanley does the fielding. Got Phoebe Wilkinson down in front of us here at third. Hands in her pockets. As Doherty makes way again, and this one's wided.
You just want to be clinical at this point, actually. You don't want to start just
Leaking some extra.
leaking extra runs, exactly.
This one straight to line, which is defended. Amelia Ridgway cautiously played at it. The Sussex men's team is here having a training session by the looks of it. I can see Paul Farbrace at the far end of the ground.
Good eyes.
Oh, this one misses the bat. It misses the gloves of Molly Adams, but no run is taken. And that is the end of the over as well. 17 overs gone, Buckinghamshire 59 for 7. And that's just not even my eyesight. I'm just trying to squint really hard. I'm like, process of elimination, who has those features? Who looks like that? And I believe it is Farbrace. End of the over.
So 3 overs still to come here.
Yep, 3 overs. And Sussex have the opportunity to get those 3 wickets as well.
Looks like we're going to go back to a bit of pace. Talia Stanley bowled 2 overs so far, picked up the 1 wicket, gone for just 7 runs. She comes in from the C end. And she's bowled up. Well, that's 8 wickets down now. A second for Stanley. Stockdale looking to just work it round the corner. Completely misread it and sees her bails go flying.
That's a good delivery there from Talitha Stanley. Again, every single delivery dismissal that we've seen go down as bowled, it's been pretty much the same shot on repeat throughout both innings today here at Hove, trying to go across the line, access that leg side, but the ball's just been too straight. And she strikes. 8 down now, Buckinghamshire. And Sussex well on their way to facing Glamorgan on Saturday, as Glamorgan have just won by 33 runs. They've already played them in the One Day Cup. Unfortunately, that was a game that Sussex lost in. Lost by 53 runs. That's the One Day Cup that we're talking about in that picture. Now it's the County Cup, it's T20, it's a new opportunity and anything can happen.
Well, McBain out to the middle. She's been phenomenal with the ball today, a 5 foot. And that she's off the mark, nicely played. And she'll pick up 4 with her first delivery of the day.
Not a bad way to get off the mark, albeit the situation probably demands a bit more than a boundary. But she's been brilliant with the ball. Picked up a 5-fer. What more could you want?
Stanley in again. Just sprays down the leg side, and this could well race to the boundary. It does. Leaking runs in this over.
Well, what do you want to do? You just said you want to be clinical, get the job done. This game is pretty much in your hands. Get it done, kill the game off, and get ready to go again.
And that's much better. Good recovery from Stanley. Score remains 68 for 8.
Into the 18th over now.
Going round the wicket to the left-hander. Looks to drive and can only find the inside edge. Out to deep square. And I'll pick up 1 more. A mixed bag this over from Stanley. Started with that wicket, then the boundary, then spraying it down the leg side for 5 wides. And much better since then. That's right on the toes. So 1 still to come in this, the 18th over. Sussex dominating against Bucks in the first round of the Cup. And just worked around the corner. Means that Ridgway is off the mark with a boundary.
.73 for 8 the score. And that will conclude the end of the 18th over. Buckinghamshire just never really got going with the bat. They did a fabulous job with the ball. And you'd have thought you'd like to have seen them put in the fight with the chase, but well below the expected rates on the worm. They were never there. I believe we're having a change in bowling again from the Cromwell road end. Lottie Curling will come back into the attack after opening the bowling for Sussex. She'll be back now. Bowling to McBain. Tasha McBain played a key role for Buckinghamshire today with the ball. She looks to make space. That goes straight through to Adams.
A good bit of pace that from Curling. Just outdid McBain.
Yeah, a few extra miles per hour on her. That one. It looks to turn it away. That comes off the pad and they'll scramble through for a single.
She was great with the ball in hand though, wasn't she, McBain? She really put the cobbles on the Sussex batters early on, taking 3 early wickets. Finished with figures for 5 for 17 from her 4, so her best figures in T20 cricket.
Yeah, no, she was really good with the ball. It was a wicket of her first delivery, I believe, as well.
Mm.
There's adjustment in the field. As mid-wicket comes into the ring. All ready to go. Amelia Ridgway on strike, high bat lift. And there's an appeal, and it's been given. She looks to turn it into the leg side. She gets struck on the pads. And umpire Ray Machandaria took a little bit of time, but she made her decision. And Ridgway will have to go. 9 down now, Buckinghamshire.
Just full and right on the toes. And there was a sort of muted appeal. There wasn't really too much enthusiasm about it, but now they need just one more wicket to put the nail in the coffin. And they would love that, wouldn't they? There's something about bowling the team out rather than just winning.
No, of course it would. It would be nice. It's like an outright dominating performance then, isn't it? 74 for 9. As Charlie Maley makes her way out into the middle. Tasha McBain has a quick chat with her teammate. And Kiara Green clearly shares a joke with Lottie Curling as well.
She's got a lot to smile about as a captain today.
Maley takes her guard. And Curling heads down, and this one's blocked out somehow by Maley. She kind of moves out the way, shuffles onto her leg stump. Two balls remaining in the over. This Curling is in, and this one's down the leg side. I'm not sure if she managed to get any bat on it, did she? I think she did. She managed to get a little bit of wood on it, as it's been signalled for. 78 for 9. Curling makes her way back to the top of the mark. As Maley's forward and pushes that to Collis at extra cover. That will be the end of the 19th over. Buckinghamshire 78 for 9.
So 1 over still to come. Perhaps the best of the weather we've had all day. The clouds seem to have dissipated. 47 needed off this final over, but it's really about whether Sussex can take this last wicket and really put the nail in that coffin and the cherry on top of a dominant performance. It was early on in the day. They looked in trouble. 3 wickets falling early, all thanks to McBain. They were 8 for 3 at one point, managed to get themselves up well over that 120 mark. Now the final over here, and it will be Stanley to bowl the 20th. Bucks 78 for 9. And she's bowled out. Well, that is the end of the Bucks batting lineup. It is a dominant win for Sussex on their home ground here today, and they will continue in the cup. Peach of a delivery from Stanley to start the 20th over. Full, and just got herself outside the line of the stumps. Bye-bye, middle stump.
That's absolutely brilliant here from Sussex. A dominating performance all round. They were in a bit of pickle with the bat early on, being 8 for 3, but then to come back and post a total of 124 and then put in a fight with the ball like they have done. Absolutely brilliant. Credit to them, and they should be very happy as they've bowled out Buckinghamshire for 78. And they'll be facing Glamorgan in round 2 of the Vitality Women's County Cup on Saturday.
Yeah, clinical with the ball in the end was Sussex, and they were just too good for Bucks. Had no answer for it with the bat, and it's also that sort of extra tick in the box of bowling a team out rather than just winning. They've done well to avoid the rain. We had rain for about 20 seconds earlier on, but other than that, it's just been raining wickets in the last hour or so. Stanley, she finishes with 3 for 21 from just over 3 overs, so good performance from her with the ball as well. And Sussex will be pretty pleased with this. Just a few early wickets earlier on today maybe would have had them a bit worried, but there was recovery in the middle, and actually it was an all-round team performance in the end that helps them win and advance to the next round of the Cup.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Unfortunately, it just wasn't to be for Buckinghamshire. They were good with the ball, but with the bat, they just never really seemed to have got themselves going. And they will not be playing again in the County Cup. It's a bit tough. You win, you proceed, and you play another game. If you lose, you're out. But it's building character and experience as the women's domestic game has a revamp in the 2025 season for the better. And then well done to Sussex Sharks once again, as they'll be taking on Glamorgan on Saturday. Glamorgan just beaten Gloucestershire by 33 runs. And we've had Stanley top scoring for Sussex with the bat. 29 goes to Talitha Stanley. Phoebe Wilkinson scored 27, and then Eve O'Neill with 20. And of course, for Buckinghamshire, we've mentioned Tasha McBain picked up a 5-4 with her 4 overs, and she gave away 17 runs, and then 1 apiece for Amelia Ridgway and Molly Carter. And then for Buckinghamshire with the bat, well, unfortunately, highest score was just 15 from Tegan Stockdale, and then second highest score was 13 from Beth Talbot. And then with the ball, well, Sussex have been brilliant. They've shared wickets. It's been a 3 apiece for Eve O'Neill, and of course Talitha Stanley picked up 3 wickets each. 2 wickets have gone to Lottie Curling, and Kiara Green, the skipper, picks up a wicket as well. And a brilliant performance by Sussex at home in the first round of the Vitality Women's County Cup. They'll be into round 2 on Saturday. And as for us down here at Hove, myself and Georgie Heath, we'll catch you back again very soon for Sussex's next match.